4878, charged possession of illegal ammunition, next of kin informed, and arrested at home with no injuries and complaints, and correctly by the signature of Sergeant Mukhane.
Lana ke kubhaliwe kwakungeyilanga lange-3 zika July 2020 kwangolesihlanu isikhathi ke 0051 umsola uvalelwe noma ugcinwe uDetective Sergeant Mukhane we National Cold Case Unity ePretoria. Igama ke umuzi Sithemba Sibiya SAP 14 057 2020 kanye SAP 14 A139 4878 akuboshelwe ke ukutholakala nesibhamu ngongekho noma inhlamvu ngongekho emthethweni isihlobo sakhe ke noma lowo ke owakubo utsheliwe futhi ke uma eboshwa uboshwe engalimele futhi ke kungekho nalokho akhala ngako wasiyasayina ke lapha yena ke uSergeant.
Yes, and the next entry that's relevant for this prisoner. My Lord, we've marked the pages from page 2.
And the next entry is written on Friday, the 10th of July 2020. The OB number is 310.
No, 309. Oh, sorry, yes, 310.
310. The time was 10 o'clock. Escort to court, Sergeant Mukhane. Escorted cell 05/07/2020, Musi Sithemba Sibiya, for illegal possession of ammunition to Tembisa, on Tembisa case 01/06/2020, correctly received, and it was signed by Sergeant Mukhane.
Lana ke elandelayo ke kwakungazo i-10 zika July 2020 bhaliwe ke isikhathi u10 ekseni ehanjiswa ke noma ephelekezelwa eya enkantolo uyena uDetective Sergeant Mukhane kubhalwa ke no 05/07/2020 umuzi Sithemba Sibiya ngokutholakala ke nezinhlamvu ezingekho emthethweni kwicala lasethembisa le case 01/06/2020 nokuthi wamukelwa kahle ke wase esayinda yena ke uDetective Mukhane.
So in short, according to the occurrence book, this detainee was at Silverton Police Station from the period 3 July 2020 to 10 July 2020.
That's correct.
Kafushane ke isiboshwa lesike sasikhona ke eSilverton noma sasigcine eSilverton ukusuka ngazo i3 zika July 2020 kwaze kwayofika noma bayoshaya i10 zika July 2020.
We'll get back to exhibit N and 1 in a while. If I can ask you to turn to exhibit NN in brackets 2, the cell register. Is there any corresponding entry in the cell register pertaining to this detainee?
That's correct, my lord. On cell entry 5 of July 2020, person with the name of Musi Sithemba Sibiya was booked in. He was detained at Silverton Police Station on 2020-0703 at 0051.
Ngalo ke noma kwinyanga kaJuly ngo2020 lana ke uma ubheka ke wesihlanu ukusuka phezulu obhalwe ke lana uVusi Sithemba Sibana ke ngwalendlela ebhalwe ngayo lana ke futhi ke ngalo ilanga lange-3 zika July 2020 isikhathi ku0051.
The charge he was detained on was possession of illegal ammunition, Tembisa case 01/06/2020.
Icala ke kwakuyilelo lokutholakala ngeinhlamvu ngongekho emthethweni icala lasethembisa lu-01/06/2020.
According to the cell register in column 14, he was released on 2020/07/10 at 10 o'clock to the magistrate court.
Bese uma ubheka ke kuyena ke ucolumn 14 ngazo i10 zika July 2020 ngo10 isikhathi ila akhishwa khona ke eya enkantolo.
Thank you. And if you can just maybe just clarify the time of detention. You mentioned 2251.
No, it is 0051. The time of detention. It's in column 8.
Right, there's another time in column 5.2. What does that represent?
That represents the time of the arrest that is given by the arresting officer.
Isikhathi lana esibhaliwe ke u10 ke wasebusuku lokho chaza ke isikhathi aboshwa ngaso isikhathi leso ke esasinikwa iphoyisa leli ekuyilona elambopha.
Thank you. If we can then just get back to exhibit N in brackets 1. Now, yesterday you've outlined the procedure that must be followed when there's a complaint of an injury by a detainee, and you've referred to the relevant national instructions. I just want to refer you to page 3 of exhibit NN1. Entry number 97 at 23:20. Or maybe if you can start right at the top, entry number 94. And this is just by way of an example. What was the position regarding that entry?
The entry was made, it was a report that was made on the 3rd of July 2020 at 21:37. The entry read as follows: report, Constable Sabaka report that one male suspect in the cells by the name of Joseph Nyanga, SAPS 142/7/2020, charged possession of stolen property. During cell inspection, I noticed that he's vomiting. I immediately contact emergency services on 112.
As he's complaining of neck pain, is that right?
Yeah,
Is
he's
that correct?
complaining of neck pain
And the
the emergency reference number is 101713, consultant name Tandiwe.
Lana ke lo mbiko ke noma lo mbhalo olana ke usetshenziswa ke manje ngasibonela ukuthi uma kunombiko ke noma umuntu ke enesikhalo sokuthi ke unayo inkinga nayo lana kubhaliwe ke ngazo i3 zika July 2020 ngo21:37 isikhathi umbiko uthi uConstable Sibaka wachaza noma washo ke ukuthi isiboshwa esizodwa somuntu wesilisa kuma cell igama laso ku Joseph Nyanga SAP 140207/2020 akuboshelwe ke ukutholakala enempahla ke eyintshontshiwe ushilo ke nkathi esemaselini ukuthi ke yena loyo ke uJoseph lowo ke waye khipha ngaphezulu noma waye vomita ke ngase ngaleso sikhathi ke sengibiza ke abosizo noma ke ama emergency service kena ke u112 nanjengoba wayesho ukuthi ke uneyinhlungu noma unama pain anawo la kuyena ke emqaleni noma entanyeni futhi ke ireference number e101713 naloyo muntu ekwakhulunywa naye kwakuuthandiwe kuyaboniswa manje ngesibona ukuthi kwenziwani uma ngabe umuntu enaloko akhala ngakho.
Yes, you can then read the entry at 23:20.
Entry 97, it was the same evening At 23:20 report, Constable Sabaka reported that a male,
I made a follow-up.
I made a follow-up on the ambulance requested from emergency services at reference number 101713, and Mrs. Sophie assured me telephonically that they received my call and that the ambulance is still on the way to the police station as requested.
Lana ke uyachaza noma uyaqhubeka ke usibaka ekulona ke befonile ukuthi kwase elandelela ke futhi ucingo wabo lo awelenzile ke mayelana ne-ambulance ukuthi le awayecelile base bemchazela ke ne-reference number ewu-10713 wase ke uMiss Sophie emnikeza ke isiqiniseko sokuthi ekusho lokho ngocingo ke ukuthi ke ucingo lwakhe balutholile nokuthi futhi ke i-ambulance isendleleni eyakhona e-police station nanjengoba ayecelile.
As you mentioned, this is by way of example. What does this illustrate?
This illustrates that according to the national instruction, if somebody in custody, a person in custody needs medical treatment, the relief commander or the person in the cells must immediately act and contact the necessary emergency services to ensure that the person receives treatment.
Lokhu okuchazayo nanjoma kushiwo ukuthi kusetshenziswa nanjengesibonelo ukuthi ke loyo ophethe emasel noma ke icommander uma kuwukuthi ukhona ke umuntu kulabo bavalelwe onesikhalo noma oshoyo ukuthi ke kukhona ke la angaphethekanga kahle khona ke ukuthi yikona lokhu okufanele kwenziwe ukuthi enze isiqiniseko sokuthi ke uyalithola usizo loyo muntu loyo.
Now, Colonel Swanepoel, you've been a station commander for some 32 years, and you've also been a member of the police for about 41 years. Do you consider yourself sufficiently experienced on matters pertaining to occurrence books and cell registers?
Yes, my lord, I do. I make it my job to ensure that all the national instructions that is issued is communicated to all the members at the station as well, and to ensure that they also know the national instructions and instructions pertaining to detention management.
Nanjengomuntu ke ose-station commander iminyaka ewu-32 usemaphoyiseni ke iminyaka ewu-41 ungathi ke uyithatha nanjengomuntu owaziyo ukuthi ke indaba yama-occurrence book iy'ncwadi lezi isebenza kanjani. Yebo, okwami futhi ke uqiniseka ukuthi ke uma khona ke okuphuma phezulu ke kwabasiphethe ke ama-instructions ukuthi ke lawo ma-instructions lawo atholwa noma aziwa uyena wonke umuntu osebenzayo khona lapho futhi ke nokuthi ke bayawalandelela ke mayelana nabantu ababoshiwe.
Now, you've just placed an entry and record as per Exhibit NN1 on Friday, the 3rd of July 2020, that this prisoner who was booked in by Sergeant Mohani was received with no injuries.
That's correct.
Yebo ngishilo kuloko ngiqeda ukufunda ukuthi ngazo 8 zika July 2020 isiboshwa ke leso esasilethwe uyena uSergeant Mohani salethwa ke singalimele.
And also when he was booked out on the 10th of July 2020.
That's correct.
Nokuthi kanjalo futhi ke nangenkathi ekhishwa ke ngazo 10 zika July 2020.
Now, we have seen that this is a common entry in all the occurrence books that have been handed up, Exhibit MM, which is an occurrence book from, just trying to get my list, from Pretoria North Police Station. We've also seen that entry in Exhibit Exhibit NN, And Exhibit NN is an extract of the occurrence book from Silverton Police Station, NN1 that you've just placed on record. There's also Exhibit NN is an extract of occurrence book, entry for accused number 1 from the following police stations: Diepkloof Police Station, which is dated the entry is dated 30 May 2020. Also, the occurrence book from Vilera Police Station, dated 31 May 2020 to 8 June. And also Exhibit PP, Exhibit PP is an occurrence book and cell register from Pokem Police Station. And we've also seen that entry in Exhibits QQ. And Exhibit QQ is an occurrence book entry from Primrose Police Station, dated 20 June 2020 to 21 June 2020. We've also seen the same entry in Exhibit SS. It's an occurrence book from Pretoria Moot Police Station, dated 22 to 24 June 2020. And we've seen the same entry in Exhibit UU in brackets 2, which is an extract of entry from Fusilore's court cell register. Now, in your view, Colonel Swanepoel, what is the integrity of these entries in the occurrence book? What is the reliability of such entries? What is the truthfulness of such entries?
The entries is made by the members in the cells or the CSC. So every person that made that entry got a legal obligation to make the entry to the correct knowledge that he experienced at that specific time.
Konke okubhaliwe lana kubhalwa amalunga ake ngaleso sikhathi leso lapho emaselini ukuthi ke nelunga ngalinye ke uma umuntu ebhala kuyinto ke emphoqayo ke lokho ngomthetho ke futhi ukuthi ubhala ke lokho kaziyo anolwazi labo ngaleso sikhathi leso.
National Instruction 13 of 2019 gives the minimum requirements of such an entry that must be made by the police members.
Futhi ke kulomthetho obizwa ukuthi ama-National Instruction 13 wakhe ke u-20 ukuthi ke yila ekuchazela khona ke ukuthi yini ke efanele umuntu ayazike noma ayenzeke uma ngabe ebhala kuyona ke incwadi.
So all the entries at all the police stations in the Republic of South Africa will have the same entries because it's mentioned in a national instruction how that entry must read.
Futhi ke kuzo zonke noma kuona onke ama-police station eNingizimu Afrika lana nje naye uma ke kubhalwa laphayana kufanele ke kubhalwe ngoba ke lawa ama-instructions lawo ayachaza ke ukuthi kufanele kubhalwe noma kubhalwe kanjani. Uzothola ke ukuthi kuzona zonke ke lezo ncwadi lezo kuzobhalwa ke into eyodwa noma into ke efanayo.
And what is the status of occurrence books and cell registers? How are they classified?
The SAPS 10, the occurrence book, SAPS 14, the cell register is official documents and must be kept according to the regulations on official documents.
Le ncwadi ezahlukeleke kuyona ke i-SAP noma ke occurrence book SAP 14 kanye futhi ne-register ke ilena ke SAP 10 kufanele ke igcinwe ke ngokwendlela ke umthetho ochaza noma osho ngayo ukuthi kufanele igcinwe ngayo.
Now, is it possible that a police officer can cover up an injury of a detainee?
My Lord, I think it is possible that a cover-up can happen, but the police members can't, in a long period, they can't cover it up. And I'm saying that because every 12 hours there's new members on duty. Every 12 hours the new members is looking after persons in the cells. So they visit the cells every hour, and they must ensure that the prisoners is all available in the cells, and they must ensure that the cell structure is still of a proper area, that there will be no escapes, and they must ensure that there is no injuries to any of the detainees.
Kungenzeka yini ke ukuthi ke iphoyisa ke lingagodla ke noma lingafihla ke ukulimala kwesiboshwa? Yebo, lokho ke kungenzeka ke, kodwa ke angeke kwenzeke isikhathi eside, ngoba nje ngawo wonke amahora nje ayi12 noma ke ngama-hour awu-12 kunama-member amashake noma amalunga amashake afikayo ahamba ayobheka isimo sala iboshwa igcinwe khona, ayobheka isimo sokuthi iboshwa ayilimele yini, nokuthi futhi ke angeke kwenzeke yini ukuthi mhlambe ke isiboshwa noma iyiboshwa lingeqa. Lokho ke kungenzeka, kodwa angeke umuntu akwazi ukuthi angafihla isikhathi eside.
And then if there's injuries, the member will report it, because he can also be held liable if he don't report such an injury. And with departments like the Independent Police Investigation Directorate, IPID, and oversight committees that's visiting the police stations, the members don't cover up for each other.
Lana ke okwenzekayo ke futhi ukuthi ke uma ke isiboshwa ke ukuthi ke isiboshwa noma umuntu ke ulimele, lokho kufanele ilunga noma imember ke ikusho ichazeke, ngoba uma ukuthi lokho akawukhipha umbiko ngakho ke naye ke angase enkingeni ke, ngoba ke kunale lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke IPD ekuyibona abaphenya amaphoyisa, kunama committee ahlala nje njalo eyovisita emajele eyobheka izimo zasemajele. Manje ke lokho kusho ukuthi ke angeke ke amaphoyisa ke abe wona ke esiyazama ukukhavelana noma afihle okwenzekayo.
In the entry that you've just placed on record, exhibit NN in brackets 1, entry with the serial number 64, you've placed on record that Sergeant Mohani signed next to that entry. What is the purpose of Sergeant Mohani signing there?
That to ensure that the entry that was made is the correct information that was received. So he confirmed that that is the correct information.
Lana ke ku entry 64 lana ke Mohani asayina khona ke, uma esayina ke uyasho ukuthi lokhu akubhayile ke lana ngempela ke kuyiqiniso futhi ke uyavumelana nako, ingakho ke egcineni asiyasayina.
And we've seen that that is the same with all the entries that I've just put on record regarding the police stations. And what is the import of such entries by the detectives?
Sorry.
Yes. You've just explained what the purpose of the signature. Will that be the same with all the other entries?
That's correct.
Nakwezinye ke indawo la kusayinwe khona ke basayinda ngalezathu lesi ke engicela ukusisho.
Now, you were at Silverton Police Station for a period of about 7 years. Were the police officers at Silverton known to you?
Yes, my lord, I know them.
Wawusesilverton ke isikhathi esingangiminyaka ewu7, ngaba ke amaphoyisa asesilverton amaphoyisa owazi yini? Yebo, ngangikwazi.
Now, during cross-examination by Mr. Mgumezulu, he put it to the investigating team that a police officer by the name of Nkamani at Silverton Police Station assaulted accused number 1. Did you have a member by that name at Silverton Police Station?
In 2020, there was no such member, and in the whole period that I was there from 2016 till 2023, there was no such member with that surname at Silverton Police Station.
Mr. Mgomezulu ke kwithimba ke eliphenyayo ushilo lana ukuthi ke umsolo wokuqala ke washawe iphoyisa elinqamane, ingaba wonalo yini lelo phoyisa lelo ngaleso sikhathi lapho? Ngaso sonke isikhathi ngilaphayana ke nokusuka ke ngo-2016 kuyoshaya ke u-2023 akekho umuntu wayenaleso sibongo laphayana.
Sorry, Yes, Mr. Mgomezulu.
My Lord, I just want to correct my colleague.
Correct your colleague.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Baloyi. The name Ngamane was amongst the names of people that assaulted accused number 1. He is not, or he was not a police officer stationed at Silverton. I've never put it as
Yeah. Okay.
a member that.
So Ngamani is not a police officer.
No. Stationed at Silverton during the assault.
Where was he stationed then? Because this is how Mr. Baloyi says the question was posed. At Silverton. So if he wasn't stationed there, fine, no problem.
He was not
Because this witness says there was no person with the name of Ngamani at Silverton,
Yes.
where your client was allegedly assaulted.
My instruction is that Ngamane was from intelligence.
Was that?
Intelligence office. He was working with Mabena,
All right.
the late Mabena.
Kulungiswa-ke lokho ukuthi-ke cha uMamane wayengasebenziki eSilverton kodwa wayesebenza naye uMabena esebenzela-ke uphiko lolu le-intelligence.
Sorry, Mr. Baloyi, was the assertion that the gentleman, Mr.
Ngamani.
No, accused number
Accused
one,
number one.
as you say, was assaulted at Silverton?
Well, my lord, that was the import of the proposition that was put to, I think it was Sergeant Mohola.
Yeah.
And that was after reference was made to the entry at the Tembisa court appearance on the 10th of July. And accused number 1 then, via his legal representative, put it on record that he was being assaulted by police officers at Silverton.
Okay, fine.
And the name then came up in that context.
Okay, fine.
Now, my lord, I beg to.
Then, fine. You are saying Ngamani works according to your client for intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And my lord, may I just correct the assertion that was put by accused number 1 in terms of the version put on Sergeant Mohola. He said the police officers or the members at Silverton did not assault him. When he informed the court in Tembisa, never made reference to the police officers of Silverton. He said the police were assaulting him. That's why he requested to be detained in prison.
Oh, these are just members of the police force.
Yes.
They
That's
randomly assaulted him.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Because on the record in the charge sheet it appears SADP.
Okay, fine.
Okunye futhi-ke kuyakulungisa-ke futhi-ke ummeli wena-ke uma ukhuluma enkantolo yaseThembisa ushongo ukuthi washaywa amaphoyisa aseSilverton. Wawushaywe nje amaphoyisa hayi ukuthi aseSilverton.
Thank you. My lord, my instruction is to confirm same that the police officers of Silverton did not assault accused number 1.
Yeah, fine.
That's what I want to do.
Phinda-ke lokho qeda ukusho manje ukuthi wena-ke uyagcizelela-ke lokho ukuthi awuzange noma ukazi ushaywa amaphoyisa aseSilverton.
As a court, please, my lord, it might perhaps be necessary to revisit Exhibit 00. This is the charge sheet of the proceedings in Tembisa Court.
Exhibit 00.
Yes, Exhibit 00 on the 10th of July 2020. The following is noted. The accused being assaulted by SAPD Silverton.
ufunda ke umshushisi okwenzeka ke ethembisa enkantolo esithembisa
The 10th of July 2020.
okwenzeka ke enkantolo esithembisa ngazo i-10 kaJuly 2020 ukuthi kubhaliwe phansi ukuthi umshushisi umsolwa noma ummangalelwa uyasho ukuthi ushaywa noma washaywa amaphoyisa aseSilverton uthi into ebhalwe phansi ke record lasenkantolo ethembisa.
And that is when the request was
Yeah,
made
right.
that he be transferred to Moda B.
Okay, fine.
As a court basis.
Sorry, is that a typed record?
This is the
Inscription there is what?
this is
By
just
hand?
a handwritten copy of the charge sheet.
Okay, fine, no problem. Thanks.
As a court, please note, these are all the aspects. Perhaps just one aspect. You have mentioned the role played by the IPID. Now, as far as injuries are concerned of a detainee, what role do they play?
As soon as a detainee is injured and he alleges that he is assaulted, he's got a right to open a criminal docket, and that criminal docket will be then be transferred to IPID. They must be informed within 24 hours, within 12 hours, to ensure that they take over the investigation of that specific case.
Uma kuwukuthi ke umsolwa ushayiweke noma ulimeleke kufanele ukuthi yena-ke kube uyena-ke manje osemangala-ke okuzokwenzeka-ke ukuthi-ke kuzophenywa-ke i-IPD-ke noma kuvulwe idokodo kwisikhathi samahora ayishumi-2-ke kufanele i-IPD ichazeleke ekuyibona-ke manje esebezothatha-ke ukuya phambili ukuphenya lelo hlakalelo.
Thank you, my lord. These are all
Yes.
the aspects we wanted to take up.
Okay,
in the
thank you, Mr. Gomez. Amazon?
Thank you.
My name is Sonic. So it's your evidence that